In this video, we will learn some very basic math functions used in Excel. We saw in the last video that we start all formulas that we create with an equal sign, and that it's not good to use solid numbers, but rather it's better to use cell references, because if the number changes at all within the cells that we meant to pull the numbers from, the answers from our formulas do not change. And it's easy to use a cell reference by just selecting the cell after we've started the equal sign. We also saw that if we select the fill handle and drag our selection down, Excel adjusts each of the formulas down one row. Using the formula for addition is okay if we only have one or two cells that we want to add together, such as the N7 plus the O7. However, if we want to add all of the assignment points together, you can see how tedious that would be. And if we have thousands of columns or thousands of rows to add together, it's almost an impossible and daunting task. Not only is it tedious and daunting, but it's easier to make mistakes. So Excel's given us a tool called AutoSum. And if you see the sigma symbol and not the words AutoSum, it's the same thing. It just depends the size of your screen and how your home ribbon is set up. Making sure that where we want our formula to be entered is active, we select AutoSum, and Excel tries its logic to guess which cells we want to add together. And in this case, it's correct. B7 through O7. And the formula for that it's put in its function is equal, sum, and then the first number through the second number, or the range. Since it's right, all we need to do is select the Enter key on the keyboard or the check sign up near the formula bar. And just as we filled the addition formula down in the previous video, we will grab the fill handle of Anya Mosier's grades, select down until we reach the last student, and Excel adjusts the formulas appropriately to give us each of the students' total points. We'll label the column, we'll widen the column, and let's set this column apart from the other points so that we know this is the total by changing its color. Next, we want to see three things: the average of each of the gradebook items, the highest grade for each of the gradebook items, and the lowest grade. We'll start in cell A30, and we want to label what it is we're looking for. We're looking for the average, the highest, and the lowest grades. Let's set these apart from the student first and last name by highlighting those cells, bolding, and left aligning. And now we're ready for Excel to help us with the average, the highest, and the lowest. And we find that tool in the same place as we did the AutoSum. This time we're going to select the drop-down arrow and select average. Excel does a pretty good job at logically trying to determine where we want to pull the numbers from. However, if we were to accidentally put a different number in cell B29, it would be included in the formula. So we want to make sure that we're not using this cell. And to change the formula from the range B7 to B29, we just need to select the 9 and delete it and put in the 8. And now we see that the right cells are selected, and we select the Enter key on the keyboard or the check sign next to the formula bar. We'll want to repeat for highest and lowest, selecting cell B31 to place our highest or maximum grade. We'll select the down arrow next to AutoSum and select maximum or max. And Excel this time is very confused and doesn't know where we want to pull the information from. So all we need to do is select the appropriate cells and select the Enter key. And we'll do the same thing in B32 to find the minimum for that column. And now all we need to do is select cell B30, select the fill handlebar. Oops, let's be careful not to move it. Select the handlebar and drag across. And last, let's format these 3 cells so that they're the same color blue.